Hello, everybody. How you all? Hello, everybody. How you all doing? Hope you're having a wonderful day. Sorry about that. It's like all of a sudden, I can't talk. Uh, I have been tired. I am tired. Things have been a little crazy for me, but damn it, we're gonna stream today. Even though I'm tired and want to go to sleep. Even though no, we're gonna stream. We're gonna stream. We're gonna stream. I hope. So I'm thinking tonight we're going to do some programming work. We're going to work with the WoW model viewer. Yay! Well, not the WoW model viewer, but our WoW import plugin for Unreal Engine. I really did not want to stream landscape stuff again after our last landscape stream. But I'm thinking I may not have a choice in that. Because after doing quite a bit more work, I have gotten to the point where I've realized that the way I was doing it was wrong. I was getting the landscapes. They were coming in. They were roughly in the right spots, but the edges would not meet up no matter what I did. And I did a lot. So I kind of have come to the point where I'm thinking the only solution is going to be building it as a single landscape object and try to get all the little ADT files in as like a little proxy selection. Hopefully I can get that to work, but there is no reference code for generating proxies or really any of this. I have been looking through their code, and it has been a little distressing. But I think I have something that might almost work. The biggest problem is that I think I need to completely rethink how I do my landscape data. Because here's the issue. With a single landscape, the best I can do is just add more components. I cannot add a component at X and Y at an arbitrary number. At least not that I have found. Might have to do something about that. But what I might be able to do, and I emphasize the might, is if I just add in a whole ADT file's worth of blank height data and then drop it in there, it might work. That's the big thing. It's all about the might. The mighty might. I honestly don't know if it will work. It would be nice if it did, but there's a good chance it won't. So, I'm going to have to find a solution for that. So that's actually part of what we're going to be doing tonight. I'm actually going to try and do that a little bit later. I want to get some of the other code work done. Like, I want to start working on building the materials for the landscapes. I'd love to be able to do the single image version. So we bake the textures down to a single image that we can apply to the whole mesh. So if we can get that done tonight, I'd be happy. If not, that's okay too. Let me just write a quick commit. Submit. Good. All right. So now we have a nice save point where we are not going to fall back. So with that, without further ado, let's actually get to this. All right. So I just finished, and I emphasize that there's still probably more to do on there. A big change where I actually change the WDT file, because one of the things I realized in trying to get the new ADT stuff going is I need to be able to see what the connected landscapes are, and let me get a little bit more into this. In making an Unreal landscape, there are certain limitations. I may have to end up breaking up, Azeroth, larger chunks into more manageable sizes, maybe even 2s or 3s, chunks, depending on how wide and big I can make a landscape. Theoretically, I should be able to make it infinitely big, but the maximum size, or the maximum number of tiles that you can have in World of Warcraft, is 64 tiles, on the x-axis and 64 tiles on the y-axis. So far, no map that I'm aware of has come close to completing that. I mean, that's 4,096 tiles, potential tiles. There are ones that have covered quite a bit of space, because you look at Kalimdor, they actually have a little tiny area up in the corner. That is GM Island. It's not a place really anybody has ever gone. So what I basically did, and if you look at Outlands is actually a perfect example of what is going on with this. Is Outlands is actually made up of 3 separate maps, all on one ADT, file, basically. You've got your Outland map, you've got your Blood Elf area, and you've got the Draenei area. What the little code I wrote did is, given an arbitrary, index, for lack of a better phrase, it will check and see what are all the connected ADT files. What files are touching this one, and which ones are touching those ones, and so on and so forth, until you get everything that's connected. That is the code I wrote just recently. And using that, we can say, okay, here's this chunk of all the ADT files that make up this section. We can make that its own landscape file. So the landscape for the Blood Elves is going to be completely independent from the landscape for Outlands and for the Draenei. So that will make things a little bit easier with us. It means GM Island is going to be its own ADT file, a fairly small one, but yeah, that'll be perfect. The other, Kalimdor, however, is going to be a big one, so that's going to be a trickier one. But but if there are some areas that are just separated where there's no ADT files, in there, they're going to be separated out, and it will make making our landscapes a little bit easier. I'm thinking I want to test it with Outland, but the more I'm thinking about it, maybe we need to test it with GM Island. I mean, that is a total of 9 ADT files. We might be able to make that work. So yeah, that's something to consider. But I do want to work on getting the materials and everything going first tonight. Get that one texture that we absolutely need to have. So let's get some music going. That's a little low. There we go. Alrighty. So I suppose the first thing to do is take a nap. But since I can't do that, okay, so what we're going to do first is... Do I want to do this at the actor level or the asset level? I mean, there's good arguments either way on that. I mean, with the actors, you can basically say when that's being generated. With the assets, you could still do that, but that's going to be more of like a right-click option. Or we make it a function inside the thing itself. The asset data is going to be all right there in the asset, so either way we do this, we should probably do the functionality in the asset. It's just a question of, do we open that up? All right. And in reality, we're going to have to make at least 2 textures for this. So let's keep that in mind too. Yay. What's the second one you ask? Specularity channel. Hard part's going to be determining, what's specular, what's not. Okay. First thing we're going to do is we're going to create a new function inside the asset. We're going to make it call an editor. Generate single texture. So this is a colon editor function, which means we'll be able to actually tell it, hey, do this. All right. Got Coke bottles on my desk, and they're starting to rattle. All right. Should it be generate single texture? No, it should not. Generate single landscape texture. Generate landscape texture single. Should it be single? Or just generate landscape texture? Texture files. That'll be it. All right. So the file name is going to be the same as the asset file name, underscore texture or color or diffuse or albedo. Probably albedo. All right, F string destination file name color equals F string print F. There's our format, and the argument is going to be the ADT no, this is the source file. Actually, that's a good question. What is does this not have a oh, okay. Get asset name. Get name. F string asset name. Get name asset name. Copy, paste. And we'll log this. Destination color name is %s. Alright. That's probably a good first step. Let's build and see how this goes. Because if we can't if we can't generate the proper name, what's the point? Otherwise, we'll end up creating a useless asset. Ah, but what about the actual texturing, you ask? Well, that'll come into it in a bit. We might want to create a another function that actually does the actual processing, whereas this deals with the asset. Because one of the things we're going to want to do is actually generate an alpha version of all this. All right. Took me nearly a day to write that simple code for, figuring out how to connect things. But that's because I made a couple of mistakes along the way. I tried to get all the assets that were touching the current one, but I made the mistake of saying, well, if this is if X is less than X than this, I guess that's okay. If it's greater than this, that's okay too. And then we'll check the Y's and everything. So what it was doing is saying, all right, here's the chunk we want. Is it anywhere on this line? Yes? Okay, then it's touching. Is it anywhere on this line? Yes. Okay, is it touching? Here? Yep. Here? Yep. So it was getting me really bad values. I did fix that, though. So once I did that, I had a couple other, fixes, like, getting a recursive function working. But then it just worked perfectly. And spent way more time on there than I'm happy with. And I know I'm doing probably a lot more work on this than I should, but this is how I want it to work. And honestly, I've been racking my brain around it, and I cannot think of a better way of getting an editable version of the terrain than using the WoW landscape data. So I honestly don't know what I'd do if we don't have that. I mean, I want it that you can be able to edit the landscape. So you can come in, you can paint in new textures and stuff if need be. But I honestly don't know if that's going to be plausible without landscapes working the way I want them to. So, gotta do that. Yay. There we go. Oh. Open back up. There we go. Alright. So, here's our ADT file. We'll come here. I'll double click to open this up. It's going to take a while because I've got to read all of... Wow, disk size 32 megs. Alright, so now we have this generate landscape texture files. If we click on that, destination file name equals Azeroth 20... Yeah, perfect. Albedo. Yes, that works. Yay! Alright. Oh, by the way, if you're interested in seeing what what the code I did, for the expansion is, added this new ADT list contiguous, and in there, basically we take these 800 values and we break them down into the groups that are touching each other. So 141, this is the Blood Elf area. And in here you can see there's an X and a Y and a tile number. And using that, I can gain, I can basically, figure out which of these we need. All sorts of stuff. So hopefully that will be useful later. It's not useful now. So, now that we generate the correct file name, we can actually, you know what, let's work on the second name too. Specular. The good news is we don't ever need to do a alpha for that, so. And we'll do this just because. But we don't need to test that because we already know that works with the first one. Let's close this down. Alright, so now what we need to do is we need to go start processing all the data. So yeah, I'm tired. I'll probably have to break this up into several functions, but I think for right now I'm just going to write it all into one function, and I can separate it out later for cleanliness. Unless I find that I need it separated. Okay, so probably the first thing to do is build up the MCAL alphas. We've already started that work. I think that's just like right up here. Sure looks that way. So it says here I have the MCAL texture. Ooh, you know what? We actually do need to go back and do this. So what we're going to do... Actually, I want to take a quick look at this. Ooh. So All right. Now duplicate that for specula. Okay. A little bit more complex, but I think that might actually be a good idea. All right. Absolute color. Okay. Okay, so this should be the basic file name that we had before, followed by the absolute path for it. I thought I told this to shut down. Alright, build. I'm going to write mcal file. Texture package. Did that even work? I feel like there's something I need to do here. Like texture package save. Save package? No. Alright, I think we'll just open this up as best we can. Alright. All right. Let's generate the landscape textures. Destination. Okay, that's not right. Yeah, that's not right at all. Alright, what about the import MCal textures? Attempting to write MCal. That's definitely not right. Oh, yeah, right there. That was my problem. So now that I've created the MCal, alright, you know what? I probably need to go to the importer. Yeah, let's go here. DLP image, U texture, existing texture, texture package. If not existing picture, then okay, yep. All right. Create texture 2D. So Unreal textures, U textures 2D. So I think that's comparable. All right, so all right, so MCal texture. Final file path. All right. So in that case, that would be the absolute file name. Point to an incomplete U asset import. Okay. Asset importer data. So that's editor framework. What is your problem? Probably the asset registry module. All right. Hopefully this works. Because I'm not certain what to do otherwise. So this actually needs to be that. And that needs to be that. Wait a second. Was that even close to correct? Generate landscape. Yeah, that should be fine. I'm not seeing any particular issues. Alright, let's close this. We'll build. Hopefully, it looks like those got fixed. And my OCD is starting to kick in over here. Editor, framework, texture 2D, factories. Okay, yeah, there we go. It's just that one little change that makes things oh so much easier on me. I just had to get this into the correct listing because I've already figured out. You know, the way I like it is I like. Oh, you know what? I need to. The way I like it is I like single lines and then foldered lines, just to make things easier on myself. I'm tired, distracted, want the program. Also want to go to sleep. Just haven't had enough sleep tonight. Or today. Or last night. Alright, let's open this up. Generate the landscape textures. Okay, those naming conventions are better. Let's import the MCal textures. See what happens. Hey, look. It created a folder. And inside that folder, whole bunches of textures. Let's save those. Now comes the hard part. We got to actually get this to, load this data. But the fact that it just loaded the data at all is fantastic. Oh my god, look how small that is for one tile. Now there is no values here. That's not right. All right. Yeah, 64 by 64. That will be across everything. All right, yeah. Well, the good news is it actually creates the assets. The bad news is there's nothing in it. So, let's take a quick look at this. I think I can close this now. Well, create texture 2D. Source data. What other texture parameters can I have? Use alpha. All right, color data. It's supposed to be a T array. Constant T array. All right, so happens if I put that to 225? All right. I have no idea. So, according to this, there is no alpha. Compress without alpha. Import. Nope. Vector displacement map? Yeah, I think I need to put vector displacement map. Masks only does RGBA. Whereas vector displacement map is an 8-bit RGB. On the other hand, user interface, I don't know. Yeah, I think vector displacement is probably going to be the way to go. Because then I can use all of the channels, and I'm going to need all of the channels. So let's swap this out to vector displacement. PC vector displacement map. Alright, there we go. Mask alpha values count %I. So, you know, this will help to see map chunk layer masks count. And we'll put these as warnings just so that they're easy to see. We don't want errors. We'll probably remove these lines once we've confirmed that these actually do something. I'm wondering if I should have this in right here. Oh. We might make this a short stream because I am feeling pretty tired. All right. Mask layer chunk 4. 496 alpha values. So, yeah, that covers everything. Okay, these are now vector displacements. But I'm still not seeing anything. Unless we have to make some changes so that it will overwrite rather than just make another import, another copy. But I think that's going to be later. All right. So the good news is it is actually, seeing this. So why is it not? Okay, so that's all there is to it. Is alpha values and layer ID. So we're going to find out what the layer ID is, and we're going to add all of this stuff. Oh, okay, so that's why we do it last, like this. It's because we're just going through each of these values, and we don't know which one this is, and we want to lap it all up. So, yeah, that makes total sense. We're going to leave that as is. Let's come back here and close this out. So, I'm guessing that these values and everything are okay. I'm not 100% certain about it. It could be that we need to actually, put the, double check the mcal texture, because for some reason the data is not getting into here. So somewhere between here and here, the values are wrong, or get somehow damaged. That's actually where I want to bring this back up. U texture, existing texture. Yep, alright. No, if not existing texture. DLP output data. Okay, we have a texture factory. Create from binary. Yeah, we're not doing that. Pointer texture? Alright, well, let's see how this works. Might have to go back and do the whole, if it exists, just open it up. I mean, just the fact that we got it to write out data is nice. Alright, import mcal textures. Now this is going to take a while. What? That's not right. Oh, did this not... No, don't save. Oh, I don't think this... Because I should be seeing this stuff, but I don't. I think I didn't bake the project. Oopsie. I'm gonna need another drink. Not often I go through my whole drink in the first hour. I mean, it happens, but... By the way, I am thinking of changing my stream times. Well, not my times, but my days. I've actually really been liking not streaming, as much as I have lately. It's going to give me a lot of time for other projects and other things. I'm thinking of cutting things down between... streaming Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then not streaming the rest of the week. I have a poll up this over on Mastodon. There's a link down below. It should be open until Wednesday, February 22nd, 2023. For those of you watching in the future, go over there and find it. It should be one of the most recent tweets I have. It actually talks about how I couldn't stream and all sorts of stuff, but there's a poll on it. Go vote on the poll. See if you want me to keep my current schedule, which is Friday through Monday plus Wednesday, or if you're okay with me cutting down to just Friday to Sunday. So yeah, I'm thinking about it. I haven't made a decision yet. I still want to stream a lot, but I'm thinking cutting down. It would give me a little bit more time to work on editing videos, and probably working more on the YouTube stuff. I don't think any of these videos are going to make it on the YouTube other than as uncut VODs. Nobody's going to really care. They're going to want to see the finished product. They're not going to want to see the making of the sausage, so to speak. All right, good. Nothing there. Imports. Now I anticipate them being completely the same. Now the import's going to take a little bit longer because I am basically checking every single color being applied. Alrighty. What? No. No. I'm getting this, but I'm not getting any of these. Why is layer ID 3? Am I just... And of course the... okay. Now it's starting to get me some other values. Interesting that I got 3. Let's see. I'm going to open this up in Notepad++. So I might actually be able to see some of this in real time, or near real time. Okay. Oh my fucking god. Could that be the issue? Oh. Okay, so this might have to be a little bit thought of a little bit differently. What I am seeing is it goes. It's only doing the red channel, so it's not seeing. It's not going. Red, green, blue. It's doing all of the red channels, so it's creating massive amounts of data. I think I need to kill Unreal Engine. It's going to break. Oh yeah. It's already at 20 million. Okay, so... Okay, so if it's doing only the red channels first, and then the greens, and then the reds, and all that, and then the blues. Which, now that I think about it, makes complete and utter sense. Although it's interesting to me that it's also doing layer 3. Why is it doing layer 3? It shouldn't. Rarely will do that. So, okay, so the first thing it's going to do is go through the red channel, and then the blue, goes through the red, which looks like it's completely white. So in truth, 0 is our alpha. Am I seeing that right? And then green channel. Yeah. Oh my god, it's a AGB. AGBR. So this is actually alpha. B G R. I'm guessing. B and R could be flipped. So it could be ARGB. Actually, yeah, that makes a little bit more sense because they like doing things backwards. At any rate, the issue is that this is going to go through all of one color first, and then the next. So me putting it like this is, you know, basically not going to work. I thought it would. All right. Oh. It's this. Okay. Now this might make some sense. Gonna kill that, kill that, kill that, kill that, and kill that. There we are. For right now, I'm just going to leave this as is. In truth, we do want alpha to be this. But let's make sure we're actually doing it correctly. I still feel like this should be, you know, I'm thinking RGBA, but I think more than likely they'd be doing ARGB. So that and that would, I suspect this will be more accurate to, you know, how they do with it. So let's make that assumption that it should be, you know, this way. This is the way.
This is the way.
This is the way. This is the way.
Wasn't ready for buttons. All right. I'm hoping this gives us results. Even half decent results would be nice. Actually, no, this won't work. All right, what am I doing with color data? Converting their color data into our color data is tricky. I know that there are 4,096 values. The problem... I don't know, maybe this will work. Probably not. This is only going to work on the... No, that's not going to work at all. Um, okay, so I think what I need to do here... Yeah, let's just see this crash and burn. Because this is definitely not going to work. I mean, I'd be happy to be pleasantly surprised, but no, this is going to crash and burn. This is not going to work. I can guarantee it 100%. 1 billion%. Yep. Still black. Honestly, I'm surprised it didn't crash. Okay, so here's the problem. We have the layer data. We have the color data, rather. There's going to be 4,096 F colors. There are 4 layer masks. So what we need... What we need to do so what this is doing is basically getting us the colors for one thing. So what we need to do now is go through the alpha values numbers. So for int 32, color count. Let's go C. That'll be fine. Or A for alpha. No, C for color count. C equals 0. C is less than C plus plus. All right. So now we'll copy these, paste, and instead of I, we want C. And then the alpha value it's also going to be C. No. Well, actually, we could just do alpha now. We don't need to do that, so. All right, C times, no, not C times, it'd be layer ID. So C plus layer ID. No. So for the layer masks, we know that we're going through and we're getting the alpha values. Unfortunately, I think this should work. Let me, if I swap that back to A. Okay, so here's the problem. The problem is that every color is going to have a different value. We know what the values are. No, this should actually work. All right. We know it's going to be 496 because that's what, you know, the width and everything else is. We know it's 64 times 64. On the other hand, we could just make it dynamic like that. All right, let's try this. 0.5. Actually, no. Let's do 128, 64, 192, 255. Let's see what that does. And for right now, I'm just going to comment out this other code, which is identical to this code. So I'm just going to delete that, pretty much. And let's see if this actually generates this color. I mean, if it does, great. If it doesn't, then that means that there's an issue getting color data into our texture. However, if it works just fine, then that means that there's an issue with our code here, which is somehow causing it to go nuts and not put the data in the correct locations. Okay, so that's good news. That means that these values are indeed correct. Which means that the issue is right here. So, we know there are four. We know there are 4 layer masks. Each layer indicates a layer ID. They also contain the alpha values. So when we go through here, the first thing we do is we hit, the first layer mask, which would be R. R will then, go through this. Now, since, the first layer mask ID is 0, that indicates the alpha, which means the color data for value, 0 would set the alpha to the mask values alpha. The alpha values for A, which is what we're processing. So this should work. We were definitely getting values, for some reason. Here's a question. Since this is being pushed as an integer, is it being stored as an integer or is it being stored as a float? It could be that it's working just fine. It's just, working at such a small scale, it's impossible to see. Ugh. Ooh. Cancel. Why can't you cancel? I don't want to wait. I don't want to wait for my life to be over. Alright, there we go. Yeah, I think it's being stored as an integer. If so, we need to multiply this by 255. Variables, little endian. Okay, yeah. So, that's a fairly simple fix. Now, real quick, I want to jump in here and mcal. Okay, I don't think it matters because it doesn't matter, it just doesn't. So I guess it's a question of how do we want to think about it rather than how do they want to think about it. But it's looking like layer 0 is alpha because it's just straight. Now we are thinking of keep in mind this is usually layer 0, that is the bottom channel. And we're definitely going to have to think about that differently. And then layer 1, and then layer 2, and layer 3. Import mcals. Ho! Check that out. Ho 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 ho. Yep, that's completely white. Alright. So that should line up with a channel on here. Now you're probably wondering why doesn't R just match R? Well, that's because they aren't necessarily on the same level. Although now I'm wondering why these aren't matching. Ah, okay, there we are. Those are matching. Okay, I still don't know why those two aren't matching, but okay. But the fact that we got, and you can, right there, actually, you can really see, that these match up, but they're different colors. Because not always is it going to be in the same color space. I mean, you can see this kind of wiggly thing. Fortunately, these all look like they use the same coloring layers. Probably same ones here, but then here it goes differently because this uses a different texture layering. But the fact that we got these to import and you can actually see that they line up, that is fantastic. It's wonderful. And I want to go to sleep. I might do that. But the fact that all of these have a completely white alpha is completely unacceptable to us. So, don't save. And we're going to just skip layer 0. Because layer 0 is always going to be 1. We can guarantee that. So we're going to replace it with, us grabbing the data, subtracting everything, and then clamping it. So this should create an automatic mask where it's basically just going to subtract everything from all the previous sources. good news is this means that we actually have the MCal textures, and we can actually, and with us being able to save them out, we can actually build a generated value system for that. Which means we can build one of the materials. Now, the hard part, though, is that that's the one where it's going to split everything up so that each one is its own material instance. And that is going to be one of the 3 materials that we need to develop. The 3 materials, as far as I can tell, that we need to develop for landscapes are as follows. 1, we need one that covers the entire landscape with a single texture, maybe a specular texture as a secondary, and then that's it. It's completely uneditable, not very happy, all that jazz. The second one will be the this one, which actually uses a chunked data for layers, and then builds it based on these MCals that we are importing. Now, this is a little bit more editable, and we might be able to get some stuff done, but it requires a lot of textures to be inputted. All right. So let's come in here for a moment. We have the RGB. This is the same, but now for alpha is not working. Did I bake this? Did I build this? Yeah. So why is this not working? Oh. Because I have to multiply that. Actually, that should fix that. It was that same scale issue. Difference here is that I can actually use the the big scales. I don't have to multiply it out or anything. You think color RG F color would use floats as opposed to Ooh, what's going on over here? Oh, okay. Sorry, I have the Star Citizen testing chat lobby open. Because they're supposed to release a patch today. And, they were saying, oh, it should be, at least 2 to 3 hours from the time that message was posted 5 hours ago. So we're all all the Star Citizen backers are impatiently waiting for a build because we have not had a patch since Monday. And we don't really want to go into the weekend without an update. Oh, they literally just gave us the patch notes. Okay, I gotta look at this. Excuse me. Let me get this building, or importing, I should say. Oh, that's a big bug fix list. They fixed 15 client patches, 9 server crashes. This build has had many extra fixes for trams and landing zones to help detect them. To help them detect if they are about to collide or outright stop. Okay. Alright, let's see. Alpha? The fuck? Maybe I should put that to 0. See what happens. Clamp. Okay, so that should be R plus G plus B as a double, and then subtract 255. Subtract, subtract that from 255, and then clamp it between 0 and 255. Should result in a unit 8. Alright, unit 8. Max value equals so 255 minus max value, which should be the combination of RG and B. Yep. There's no reason this should not work. Alright. This build has had many extra fixes to help detect that they are about to go and outright stop them if they are... Help them outright stop to help them not get stuck. If they do get stuck, we have put extra logic to detect them being stopped and will force them to reset position to default if it detects the trams not moving. This is temporary and will be immersion breaking for now, if it happens, but it's a temporary workaround in case this issue still occurs. Fix multiple locations. Transit trams become stuck after reaching their destination. Let's see. Do these guys... No, they don't. Ooh, vehicle may be unable to lift off from pad after retrieved from ASOP. Okay. Spawn closets have viz areas when opening. Alright, fix that. After snapping to the cargo grid, RMC commodity crates cannot be detached again with the tractor beam. Airlock on top of the reclaimer lacks appropriate collision, will allow players to fall through the. Ooh, okay, so you fixed that, but not the freaking elevator? Ooh, they fixed the. At least they worked on a fix for the exploit, for the desynchronization. All right, let's. I'm at the point where I don't think this is going to change anything. So somehow the alphas are just not coming in. Okay, that didn't change anything. Okay, you know what? I might have to put this as having alpha. Use alpha equals true. Compression, MIP, source, texture group. Technically, these are terrain weight maps. All right. Now, maybe this will help, maybe this won't, I don't know. Just telling it to use the alpha might actually make it use the alpha. Some good fixes. Let's see. What are known issues? Snub fighter interaction. Yeah. By the way, has everybody seen the Flash trailer? Looks good. Don't know if I'm going to go see it in the theater, but it looks good. I'm interested to see how that's going to affect things, because it is absolutely going to affect things. Ooh. Fully loaded C2 landed in Area 18 results in low frame rates or crash. Eesh. Yay! There we go. We got our alpha channel. Perfect. Alrighty. So that means that these are actually functional. Okay. So, alpha is our lowest layer, followed by red, green, and blue. But I kind of feel like I want to do blue, green, red. Because at least for me, that makes more sense. RGBA as opposed to, AGBR. Or ABGR. Alright, so that's a change I'm going to make, but it's not something I'm not going to build and test because I know it's going to work. This looks like it works perfectly, so I think this is pretty much done in terms of getting this functionality. Now, something we might want to do is actually add a... yeah, we're going to do this. T-map int view texture. And do I want it to be a... yes, I do. All right, texture 2D actually. And is there an index? No. mcal textures. I think I want to save that. Now we're going to make it private because I don't want to be able to look at it. Don't look at it. Don't even touch it. Go to definition. Looks like the server broke after, you know, far too quickly. All right. Get tile index. Int index equals times 64 plus index x. Actually, I can just do return. I might have to say inline, just so it doesn't bork things. And no, it'll be fine. Alright, mcal textures, add. I suppose I could probably move some of this over, but I think for right now I'm just going to leave that. So we're going to put them into memory, where with the tile index for the map chunk and the actual texture itself. So, and then we'll save it to where we need to. Although in reality, what I probably should do is, bring this into memory, save it here, and then a whole nother function, process these mcal textures out. So, yeah, that's probably what I'm going to do. Guys, I am literally about to fall asleep. I want to thank you all for joining me. We didn't get as far as I wanted, but we actually got a lot done. We got the mcal textures effectively ready to go. There's some cleanup and some improvements we can make, but this is really good. I'm actually really happy about this. Now that we actually have the mcal textures and they're actually working correctly, that means we can actually work on building up the pre-made textures. Actually, that's a possible 4th version, now that I think about it. Because there's the 3 versions. I know I've talked about 2 of them. There's single texture. There's, I don't want to call it dynamic, but there's multiple materials. Now that's going to be sucky because it's going to be what is it, like 256 materials per object, per landscape, for whatever. That's insane. Which is why I'm looking forward to the landscapes, because then I could add multiple layers. But then there's the third one, where we're actually going to create a layered material system, so we can actually say, okay, well, this is the base layer. This is the most common texture. We're going to put that on there, and then we're going to layer everything else on there. So we're going to have to create the weight maps for every layer, which is basically taking the MCal textures, stretching them out, all sorts of stuff, and making them work for the whole thing. We're going to be using these MCal textures as weight maps when we get to that point. So we've needed this data one way or the other. So that'll be nice. Yeah, so that's the three. The possible fourth is basically making a baked texture for every single tile. I don't want to do that, but it's plausible. Might do that as a starting point, because it'll be easier to do that individually and then stitch all the images together than to try to separate everything out and then layer it correctly, which we're gonna have to do it at some point anyways. Yeah, okay, I'm starting to ramble here, and I really am looking over at my bed going, that looks good. I do want to work more on this. It's just I'm having trouble focusing. Okay, that's it for tonight. I'll see you next time, which will be tomorrow, where I don't know if we're going to do more programming or if we might jump over and do God of War. I feel like we're getting close to the end. In fact, I seem to recall that we are getting close to the end. But there's still a lot more to do. I do want 100% that on. Try to get all the achievements, or at least as many as I can. I do want to jump back to start working on Assassin's Creed again. It'd be nice to kind of go back to Final Fantasies. But I have it on my desktop. We just haven't kept going with it. Final Fantasy 2 is not... It's not pulling at me. And then, of course, Sunday, we're going to have Star Citizen Sunday. I am thinking of having an additional, Star Citizen Saturday day. It's just not everybody can make Sundays, and I was thinking, maybe do Saturday in addition. So it might be one of those things where Sunday we do our usual Sunday thing, but on Saturdays we try to get big group things going. Maybe Saturdays are the days we take over Korea or do racing or all sorts of stuff. It would still be a later stream. It would start at 8, but more people have the weekend off, so they might be able to stay up a bit late. Who knows? It's still stuff I'm thinking about, just like I'm thinking about taking Mondays and Wednesdays off in addition to Tuesdays and Thursdays. So basically, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday would be my streaming days. And I'm talking about filling 2 of them up with Star Citizen. That's because I'm enjoying the content so much, and I think the people on my Cut YouTube channel are actually enjoying the content. I'm trying to get another video done. I had 2 or 3 weeks there where I just could not get anything done. Almost got my next video done, which will be the Sand Caves of Daymar. And then I'm hoping I can get 2 more videos out of there. But it's a lot of work, and I'm still trying to get things working. We'll see. Thank you all for joining me. I'll see you next time. Good night, everybody.